I'm Tabatha, and you know I don't take shit from anyone. Well, gluten was giving me the shits, literally, so I had to give it up.
Whole wheat is just wheat with lipstick. It's no better for you.
Who wants lipstick on their wheat? That's weird.
This is really good.
See, I'm not just a pretty face.
No. One of the most common things I see with my patients are people sensitive to gluten, and gluten is the devil. So welcome to Be Well Weekend. You'll see what it is and what you can do about it. The obvious places where you find gluten are in pizza, in pasta, in breads, in bagels. Of all the foodstuffs we eat, it's permeated almost every part of our culture. 2 slices of whole wheat is the same as 6 teaspoons of sugar. Now, would you put 6 teaspoons of sugar in your tea or coffee? Wheat is also highly addictive and an appetite stimulant. In fact, it binds to the same receptors in your brain as heroin does. So we all have become addicts.
I was very careful with looking for gluten everywhere, looking in salad dressings, because it does show up in things that you wouldn't expect it to be. And I think everyone just thinks bread,
Right.
pasta,
Right.
flour, but you wouldn't think about gluten being in a salad dressing.
What you do on the weekend to be gluten-free.
I make a great dessert when I'm home that I feel is really indulgent, really yummy,
Ooh, what's
but it's
that?
really good for me. It's
Good.
a chia seed dessert. I found these chia seeds. You can make them for dessert, but you can also sometimes eat this for breakfast. So it feels like a guilty thing that I'm gonna make, but it actually isn't. It's really good for you.
Right. And chia seeds are actually a dynamo superfood. They're the highest omega-3 fatty acids from plants, and they're also a great source of fiber. So to me, that's a superfood.
For this, I like coconut milk, unsweetened coconut milk. I just think it gives it a really yummy, desserty kind of flavor. So
Right.
2 cups of coconut milk.
And once again, coconut milk is an excellent source of good fats, like almond milk.
Well, and it tastes better. Hello?
Delicious.
It does. Coconut milk is really yummy. So is almond
Absolutely.
milk. When you make it in front of people, sometimes they freak out because it looks disgusting. I mean, it does. It just looks like a whole bunch of seeds like floating around in the milk. But the thing that I learned after the first time I made it is that the seeds absorb the liquid, so then they start to kind of expand.
Exactly, and that's what it does in your gut too. That's why it's such a great source of fiber. So it's actually a great tool for weight loss because you can have a lot of chia seeds or some chia seeds and you feel full quite easily.
And then I use
Raw
cocoa.
cacao.
Yeah.
Love
And I
it,
do
love
like
it.
a teaspoon. I mean, I guess you can adjust it for your taste, but I like a little hint of the chocolate in there without it being too overpowering and chocolatey. And then just mix it all up.
Right, so you're making a chocolate pudding basically.
It is a gluten-free, healthy, sugar-free version of a chocolate mousse to me, yes. You don't need to use a blender, you just want to use a spoon like this and just really keep mixing it in. And what happens is, as you keep mixing, it just keeps getting thicker and thicker. So here's some that I made earlier.
Am I allowed to have some?
No, I'm gonna do,
Okay.
listen, I'm gonna hook you up. Come on. So, see how it goes
That's thick.
thick, which
Yeah.
is yummy though, because you know what else I like? It has texture to it, so it has this little bit of a crunch. But I like that because again, it feels really, really, really filling. This is cashew cream. I just soak cashews overnight in the refrigerator, and then the next morning put them in my little blender with some water, and so it mimics, you know, whipped cream.
Another great source of fat.
And this is just a little pureed fruit. I told you I do this for my friends, so I want them to realize that they can eat gluten-free with me and they're not going to starve or eat fresh air or anything like that. They can eat healthy.
And that's great. I think it's important for people to realize that you can eat healthily and it can be delicious.
I might give up my day job and become a gluten-free chef. What do you think?
Delicious.
It's good, right? People make a big deal about, oh, there's bread on the table, let's get rid of the bread. Leave the bread there, I don't want it. I'm very happy being gluten-free because when I eat gluten, I get really sick. It's a setback for me. So leave the bread on the table, enjoy. Hopefully you're not gluten intolerant and it doesn't make you feel like hell.
This is really good.
See, I'm not just a pretty face.
No. It's the weekend, folks, so here's some great gluten-free tips for the weekend. The easiest breakfast on the weekend are some eggs or an omelette, delicious gluten-free. The second one, which is actually my favorite, is have a shake. Shakes are easy to make, they're delicious, and they're full of great nutrients. Another easy breakfast is just gluten-free bread with some avocado on or some wild salmon on. And a really delicious pudding-like breakfast is the chia seed pudding. I'm Dr. Frank Lipman, helping you be well today and every day. I've heard from reliable sources that you're the king of smoothies. And you put a whole host of stuff in.
Sometimes very elaborate. Yeah.
Right.
Wouldn't you like to quit your job and live the life you've always dreamed of? You're really living the dream, I would imagine, the expat dream.
I feel more free here than I do in the States.
This is it, man. This is the life. Join me, Savannah Jane Buffett, as I follow two buddies from college who quit their grueling office jobs and moved down to St. John to be bartenders in paradise. Now they're not just serving drinks, they've created the #1 microbrew in the Caribbean.
I looked out and there was about 30 cubicles. And at that moment, I said, I can't.
I knew I wanted to roll the dice and that I wanted to take a break from what I was doing. Nice place to live, don't you think?
Not bad.
It was a very surreal feeling because this was all new to me. This was going to be my new home. At that point, we knew we were all in.
They're the lucky guys, man. They make beer for a living on an island.
It's just two guys hanging out in the Caribbean and brewing some great beer and, living the dream, I guess.